Hello, everyone. My guest today is Fredrik Skantze. He's the CEO and co-founder of Funnel.io. Prior to starting Funnel, he was co-founder of the automotive e-tailer Autoquake in London and worked as product director for mobile internet pioneer Openwave in San Francisco. He holds an MBA from Stanford and a master's degree in engineering from MIT. Fredrik, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yep.
All right, you're like the dual threat, engineering and business from some of the best schools in the world. Your mind is a unique one. What's Funnel.io do and how do you make money?
Yeah, so basically the insight that we had was that if you're an e-commerce company or an online marketer, a lot of companies that can help you make ads and optimize ads. But in the end, when it comes to like really figuring out how things are going, people are sitting with a spreadsheet. So we spoke to small companies, they had a spreadsheet, spoke to bigger companies, a spreadsheet, and we said, look, this is an interesting problem. We can automate this. So we basically built Funnel.io to automate marketing reporting, marketing analysis.
And is it pure play SaaS pricing?
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a pure SaaS company. You subscribe, you pay per month.
Mm-hmm. And what you said earlier, you love the show, you listen, so you know all these questions I'm going to ask. But give me an average. On average, what do people pay per month? Would you say?
On average, between $500 and $600.
Healthy,
per month.
Healthy, yeah.
And then, so we're kind of mid-market pricing, I would say.
Yeah. And then what's the backstory here? What year did you launch in?
We started building the product in 2014. We launched in, I could say, beta in 2015, and then 2016. Beginning of 2016 was when the product really was ready and took off.
So how'd you fund it between there?
So we had some seed funding, and then we had, so we've had a couple of rounds of seed funding, in total about $3 million, and then we took in a $10 million round in August this year.
So
Series
13 total?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And walk me through, first off, you keep using the word we. Tell us about your founding team. Was it you and one other person or what?
Yeah, there were two of us who are the founders. Permaid, who's the chief commercial officer, myself, and then we have a CTO and a head of product who've really been with us from the beginning of the product, as well as a number of other people in the business who've been with it really from the start. And
what's the team now at today total?
So we're based in Stockholm. We have an office in Boston. In Stockholm, we're just north of 30 people, and then we're 7 people in the Boston office.
Okay, so 37 total, or 30 including Boston?
No, 37 total.
It makes a lot of sense. And what is get me into your brain when you guys launched this company? Had you already had a financial windfall and success, and Funnel.io you could kind of afford to grow slowly, or did you, or if you didn't have success, you were going to be like on the street and broke? Where was your head at?
No, we really, we needed to make it work and to raise money, and so we pushed from the start.
Okay.
But I had the experience of building a company before, and sort of, so it's a bit easier the second time around in terms of processes and kind of knowing and raising capital.
Did you sell that first company, or did it fizzle out, or what?
It was a pretty high profile company. We raised about $30 million, had 120 people, had really top VC backing, but ended up not having a big exit in the end. So not that there was lots of money that, we could throw at this next thing.
What lesson if you had to kind of look back on that, why didn't that one work out?
I think in the end we maybe try to. It was an e-commerce business and a pretty heavy back end and operational, and we I think we probably try to scale it a little bit too fast, and that was probably the lesson.
Sometimes you raise.
Not that I'm not sure that I have learned it. I think we're trying to scale Funnel pretty fast too, but but yeah, you got to kind of let some things have to take some time.
And so talking about scaling quickly, what is Funnel now out today in terms of customers?
So we have about 340 customers. So MRR is around 180,000. And it's been growing north of 10% per month the last 3 months now. So strong growth. Like this November, we grew about 12%. So
that's great. So take me back a full 12 months in December 2016. Do you remember what you were at?
I think, let's see, December last year, we're at $60,000 in MRR.
Wow. So I mean, you're going to triple it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great growth. Where are you spending the investor dollars?
So we're spending relatively equal in development and commercial. So we have we're like one of the, we thought we would build the core product in 1 year, and it took us really 2 years. And the learning was really that, well, everybody's got a spreadsheet, but it turns out everybody's spreadsheet is a bit different, right? So, and there are a lot of marketing platforms. Actually, I've been shocked by how many marketing platforms there are. As I said, we have 340 customers, and we support 342 different advertising platforms.
I saw that on your site. You have this graphic with all these advertising platforms listed there.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So we have a pretty heavy dev team, and there are a lot of integrations. But also we've learned that to really set it up, we don't just pull in data for our customers, but we really kind of help them map the data and create their P&L, where the cost comes from the advertising platforms, but the results typically come from some attribution platform like Google Analytics, and you've got to map this together. You're going to do it for multiple brands, multiple markets, and so on. So we have a team that onboards them, and we kind of really work with our customers. So it's not, just a self-service platform. It actually requires at least some onboarding. After that, people can work on themselves. Including
the kind of onboarding and everything it takes to land a new customer, fully weighted, what are you spending on CAC?
About $6,000.
Okay, so that comes out to about 10 months of revenue. So still healthy payback period there of about 10 months.
Yeah. So the SaaS metrics work.
Yeah,
they say scale.
Are you generally getting more aggressive with CAC or less aggressive with the additional funding?
We're trying to keep it approximately where it is, and then scale the volume. That's kind of the biggest theme. But we've seen a big trend that. So we now have about average revenue per customer of about $525, but that's up from about $400 a year ago. So we're seeing a big trend of bigger customers coming on board, and some of them are actually really big.
What makes the bigger ones pay more? Is it like number of seats? What is it?
It's roughly related to advertising spend. It's not linear, but it is related to advertising spend. So if you spend more, you've got a more complex setup, and there's more data to pull in, and you pay more.
So are you tracking spend through your platform?
Yeah, that's one of the things that actually our customers track through our platform. So it makes a lot of sense.
Altogether, what volume did you process over the trailing 12 months?
So we process about a bit north of $1 billion in advertising spend a year.
That's great. But you don't model around a cut on that. It's just a flat SaaS fee.
Yeah. No, we don't take any percentage of spend or anything like that.
That's great. I talked to a lot of people in this space, and they're trying to do two models. They have a percentage of spend, plus they're trying to sell a SaaS product on top of it, and it just muddies the waters, and they're not doing good because they don't know what they are.
Yeah. No, and people generally don't want to pay a percentage of spend, and we fully understand that.
Yep. What is the bucket leaking? What's churn look like?
So logo churn is just shy of 3%, it's about 2.8%.
Monthly?
Gross MRR churn about 2%, net MRR churn about 1%.
Okay. And those are all monthly numbers?
Yeah, monthly. Yeah. So, and then you could if you split the customer base in sort of small customers and large customers, the larger half of the customers have a negative MRR churn of about minus 1.5% a month.
Yeah, Fredrik, I love interviewing people that have listened to the show because they come with the numbers ready, right? I can tell you, you know what I'm going to ask. You just boom, boom, boom. Here they are, Nathan. Leave me alone. You're enjoying the show, though?
Yeah, it's good. No, I like SaaS metrics. I think they it really helps you drive your business. And I think it's great that, people are sharing them and openly talking about
Well, I'm certainly thankful for it. So I'm thankful that you've come on. Last question here around economics before we wrap up with the famous five. Lifetime value. What do you generally assume lifetime value is on these guys?
around $20,000. Yeah. So there's a payback of about a bit over 3 on the CAC.
Yep. And so just to be clear, you're assuming they stay with you for, call it, 2, 3-ish years, 3 years maybe, at about $500 a month.
Yeah, 3 years, almost exactly.
Yep. And then where are you spending, CAC $6,000, where are you spending that money? Is it mainly ads or conferences or what?
Yeah, we do both inbound and outbound. Not so much conferences, more scalable process. So, ads and inbound content and so on. And then we do some outbound as well, outreach. But we separate lead gen from sales. So we have a lead gen team that just works on lead gen.
Mm-hmm. When do you start thinking about, obviously you just raised capital. By the way, did all of that go to operating, or was any of it a secondary offering giving liquidity to early founders?
No, just new operating cash.
New operating cash. Got it. So what do you like? Who are you competing with in the space? If you had to name a few names.
I think the biggest. So we speak to about 200 new companies every month, and only in about 10% of the case is a competitor involved in that discussion. So out of 200 customers we speak to, 180 they use a spreadsheet. And are they going to continue that, or are they going to use us? And then in the 20 cases, there is somebody else that they're looking at. So it could be a simple, tool that grabs data or reports in silos, or an e-commerce reporting platform. And then there are some, bigger enterprise companies like, Datorama and Beacon and things like that. That if it's a really large customer. But the surprising thing is that actually we don't encounter more, and that's by design. We spend a lot. We had a lot of experience in ad tech and marketing technology, and we spend a lot of time really trying to find a space where customers had a problem that they couldn't solve today.
I'm curious what companies like you guys are commanding in the space right now in terms of when you raise and multiples valuation. What were you able to negotiate? And my audience knows it's not always good, by the way, to negotiate a super high valuation, because then you have to grow into it. So for you, what were you aiming for on your last round, and are you comfortable sharing kind of what you got?
Yeah, around I think it was about a $30 million post valuation for Series A. So pretty standard.
18 pre, 30 post.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, I guess it was 10 million raised. So 10, 20 pre and 30 post.
20 pre, 30 post. You're doing 2.2 million in ARR currently. So call it, 10x, that's pretty good. So now focus on using the cash, growing into the valuation, and come back on the show in a year, right?
Yeah.
All right, Fredrik, great. Let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Tribal Leadership,
no.
which is, you haven't heard of it?
No.
It's a book about culture. It's a book about how you make teams work together, and how you kind of go from people being individual superstars to working in high performance teams. It'll blow your mind.
I'll have to check it out.
Book. Yeah.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
The CEO that I respect the most and I look up to the most is actually Elon Musk. I think he's the most creative person I've ever met, but not the SaaS CEO, but I think that's the level of innovation to aspire to.
Number 3, besides your own, what's your favorite online tool?
I actually think Slack. It's transformed our business. It's taken away email.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
About 8.
Okay, so pretty healthy.
Yeah, I need to sleep. Yep. Otherwise, I don't operate well.
Yep. Number 4, last set of questions here. What's your situation? Married, single, you have kids?
Yeah, I'm married, 2 kids, 4 and 6.5.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 46.
All right, Fredrik, take us back 26 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I think I wish I'd got myself out of my comfort zone more. I was at bigger companies and it was pretty comfortable, and I needed to kind of get out there and try new things, and I have, and that's really been transformational for me.
There you guys have it from Fredrik. Get out of your comfort zone earlier. Give up the cushy salary and go do something fun. 2014, he launched Funnel.io, built it for about, I'll call it 2.5 years, and then eventually launched their pricing model. They're now helping over 340 customers, each paying about $525 a month, doing about 180 grand in MRR, or about 2.2 million in ARR, only churning about 2.8% of their logos every single month, spending 6 grand to acquire a customer that's worth about 20 grand to them. So the economics work. Their team of 37 in Boston, and their other UK office or Europe office focused on, again, building Funnel.io out across already 342 integrations. Fredrik, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thanks.